They don't teach you this in school. They don't teach you that money isn't just paper. It's power. It's your ability to choose, to fight, to breathe. And when you don't control it, it controls you. You wake up already behind, rent clawing at your throat, debt wrapping chains around your future. And the world, it doesn't care. It keeps charging you for every second you fall behind. This isn't just about money. This is warfare. Budgeting isn't some soft skill they mention in passing. It's your battle plan, your strategy for survival and domination. Because every dollar is a soldier. And if you don't assign them a mission, they'll wander into the enemy's camp, blown away by impulse, addiction, and distractions dressed as comfort. You think you're broke because of your income? No. You're broke because of your lack of command. Let me ask you something. Would a warrior enter battle without a map? Would they charge into chaos without a strategy? No. A warrior plans. A warrior disciplines desire. A warrior sees every unnecessary purchase as a threat to their kingdom, and they eliminate it, ruthlessly. You think budgeting is restriction? No. It's liberation. Because when you take control of your finances, you take control of your future. You strip away excuses. You silence the chaos. You build from order, not luck. And yeah, it's pressure. Every day. But that's the arena you were born into. The rent doesn't wait. The bills don't pause. The economy doesn't care if you're tired, overwhelmed, or underpaid. So either you adapt or you fall. You want peace? Earn it. You want freedom? Fight for it. And the first weapon you forge is your budget. Track every cent. Name every mission. Cut every enemy from your ranks. No more blind spending. No more comfort purchases that rot your strength. No more pretending you'll figure it out later. This is later. You're either building your empire or digging your grave. So rise like the warrior you are. Take the helm. Command your army of dollars like your life depends on it. Because it does. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who let money control them, and those who master it. Decide which one you'll be, and make every dollar count. Hack 1. Ruthless Clarity. This is where the war begins. Not with the enemy outside, but with the enemy within. Because if you can't face your financial reality with cold, brutal honesty, you're already losing. Ruthless clarity is not a budgeting trick. It's a mindset. It's the warrior's ritual of self-exposure. It's the cold steel of discipline cutting through the fog of denial. Most people avoid this step because it forces them to look in the mirror. And the reflection is ugly. Not because they're weak, but because they've never been taught how to see. They walk through life financially blind, swiping cards, clicking buy now, sinking into subscriptions they forgot they had, wondering why they're always broke, why they always feel anxious, why the future feels like a prison sentence instead of a battlefield they can conquer. Ruthless clarity is the cure. Let's begin. Step 1. Total financial recon. You need to pull the curtain back on everything. Bank accounts, credit cards, Venmo, PayPal, cash envelopes. Leave nothing in the shadows. You're not glancing over statements. You're running a forensic audit on your life. Go back 60 days. Print it, circle it, categorize it. There are only 3 categories that matter. Survival, the essentials, rent, food, utilities, gas. These are the things you need to keep the operation running. Mission, investments into your long-term objectives. Books, courses, gym memberships, gear, tools, anything that builds you into something stronger. Sabotage everything else. Fast food you didn't need. Streaming services you don't use. Emotional Amazon sprees. Impulse buys that felt good for 10 minutes and left you broke for 30 days. Be honest. Brutally honest. If it doesn't keep you alive or move you forward, it's an anchor, and you don't rise with anchors. Step 2. Count the casualties. This is going to hurt, but pain is part of the process. Add up your sabotage spending. How much are you giving to the enemy each month? $300, $500, more? Now multiply that by 12. That's how much you're spending per year to stay stuck. Could have paid down debt. Could have invested in your business. Could have funded an emergency account. Could have bought back your freedom. But instead, you gave it to the void, and the void gives nothing back. Step 3. Eliminate without mercy. Now comes the warrior's test. Can you kill comfort before it kills your future? Cut. Eliminate. Cancel. Uninstall. Slash the monthly bleed with no apologies. This isn't about being frugal. It's about being free. Every dollar you waste is a soldier sent to die for no reason. Every pointless purchase is a victory handed to the enemy. Every untracked expense is a leak in your fortress wall. You must become the kind of warrior who doesn't tolerate leaks, who walks through the battlefield with clean armor, sharp weapons, and zero compromise. You want wealth? You want freedom? You want power? Then act like someone who deserves it. Step 4. Ritualize the process. Clarity isn't a one-time purge. It's a discipline. Set a time, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and go to war with your numbers like it's sacred. Light a candle, turn off distractions. Pull out your ledger and ask, where am I bleeding? Where am I winning? What must I kill next? Turn your budget into a battlefield report. Make it a part of your rhythm. Let it mold your character until tracking your money feels like sharpening your blade. Because that's what it is. Every dollar you master is a step closer to sovereignty, and every dollar you ignore is a chain on your future. Final warning. The enemy is inside. You'll be tempted to skip this step, to tell yourself, I kinda know where my money goes, to rely on your memory, to wing it. That's weakness. That's comfort whispering sweet nothings to keep you broke. That's your old self trying to survive. But survival isn't enough anymore. You're here to dominate. You're not just tracking expenses. You're tracking truth. You're shining a light into the dark corners of your habits, your history, your excuses, and you're burning them down to make space for the warrior within. This is the foundation. No mission gets executed without it. No freedom gets forged in its absence. So grab the sword, face your finances, and track every cent with ruthless clarity. Because the warrior who knows cannot be stopped. Hack 2. Operate in battle mode, not civilian mode. There are 2 ways to live in this world. Like a civilian, or like a warrior. Civilians spend with emotion. Warriors spend with strategy. Civilians walk through life reacting, buying what looks good, feels good, smells good, tastes good. And they justify it with the weakest words in the financial language. I deserve it. It was on sale. It's just a little something. But a warrior doesn't move unless it serves the mission. A warrior doesn't let dopamine drive their decisions. A warrior doesn't chase quick pleasure and call it self-care. A warrior is on alert, all day, every day. Because the enemy is always near. And in the world of money, the enemy wears a different face. Impulse purchases. One-click convenience. Endless ads engineered to dismantle your discipline. Friends who invite you into financial sabotage. The seductive voice in your head whispering, "Treat yourself." This is the battlefield. And if you don't know you're at war, you've already lost. Step 1. Identify the triggers. Battle mode starts with awareness. You must study yourself like a general studies the enemy. When do you tend to spend without thinking? Late nights on your phone? After a long, stressful workday? When you feel lonely, bored, frustrated, or defeated? Recognize the pattern. Name the emotional states. Because your spending is not random, it's ritualized comfort-seeking. Civilians are blind to this. But you study your movements. You anticipate ambushes from within your own psyche. Step 2. Ask the battle question before every purchase. You don't reach for your wallet mindlessly. You ask the question, does this feed my mission, or does it weaken my defense? Not, can I afford this? But, does this make me stronger? That $6 latte? That $20 shirt? That $60 dinner? On paper, maybe they're affordable. But affordability is a civilian metric. Impact is the warrior's metric. Will this move me closer to my goals, or further away? You apply this filter to everything, because the moment you stop questioning your decisions, you surrender the war without even realizing it. Step 3. Build a pre-approval system. Here's how a warrior buys. Create a list of mission-aligned expenses every month. These are the only things you allow yourself to spend money on. No emotion, no exceptions. Rank them in order of priority. Needs tools for growth. Strategic restoration. Everything else is noise. If an expense doesn't exist on that list, it gets the blade. Not next week. Not after I think about it. Now you eliminate it without hesitation, because that's what warriors do. We don't negotiate with weakness. Step 4. Rewire your reward system. Civilians reward themselves with short-lived pleasures. Warriors reward themselves with long-term gains. You want a new pair of shoes? Hit your financial target first. You want to go out for a nice dinner? Let it mark the victory of a milestone. You want to indulge? Earn the indulgence with results, not feelings. Pleasure is no longer random. It's earned. It's strategic. It's tied to the battlefield, not your boredom. Step 5. Cultivate the warrior mentality around spending. Battle mode is not about deprivation. It's about control. You spend with purpose. You fund your future, not your ego. When you do spend, it's an investment in the mission, not a reaction to your emotions. That means learning to find fulfillment in restraint, pride in saying no, power in walking past temptation like it doesn't even exist. Why? Because you know what you're fighting for. You've seen the prison that financial weakness builds, and you refuse to live there again. The civilian buys escape. The warrior buys freedom. The civilian spends to feel better. The warrior earns the right to feel powerful. You are not soft. You are not passive. You are not a follower of trends or prisoner of comfort. You are on a mission. You are in a war. And every transaction, every click, every little splurge is a decision between victory and defeat. So, operate in battle mode, with eyes wide open, with intention behind every move. Because in this game, only the disciplined survive, and only the ruthless rise. Hack 3. Master the zero-based budget. This is where you stop bleeding and start building. No more guesswork. No more, Let's see what's left at the end of the month. No more passive drifting. Because warriors don't drift. Warriors assign. Warriors command. And in the world of finance, that means every dollar gets a mission. This is the code of the zero-based budget, where nothing is idle, nothing is wasted, nothing is left to chance. At the start of each month, your total income becomes your battlefield, and your job is to deploy every single cent to a specific post until your income minus your expenses equals zero. Not zero because you spent carelessly. Zero because everything has a purpose, a job, a role, a reason. Step 1. Shift your mindset from passive to commander. Most people treat money like weather. They observe it. They react to it. They complain when it disappears. That's the mindset of the broken beaten. You're a general. You don't wait to see what happens. You dictate the terms. When your money shows up, it should be greeted with orders. This much to housing. This much to food. This much to debt destruction. This much to savings. This much to investments. This much to growth. You don't let your money wonder where it belongs. You tell it. You tell it exactly what to do. Because if you don't, someone else will. Step 2. Create the monthly war plan. Start at zero. Yes, zero. Act as if every dollar needs justification to exist in your life. Then build your budget from the ground up. Essentials: rent, mortgage, utilities, food, transportation. These are your base operations. Debts. Any money owed is a hostage situation. Your job is to rescue those dollars and bring them home. Savings. Emergency fund. Future investments. This is your shield for hard times. Growth. Books, education, gym, courses. These are your weapons. Strategic restoration. A small amount for leisure, but only what strengthens you, not weakens you. Miscellaneous. Small, rare expenses that you forecast before they attack. Tally it up. Every dollar. Until there's nothing left unassigned. Income. Expenses equals $0. If you have money left over, redeploy it. Boost savings. Throw it at debt. Accelerate your investment fund. Nothing sits idle. Step 3. Treat leftover cash like a threat. Most people celebrate having extra cash. That's a trap. Leftover money without purpose is vulnerable to sabotage. It gets spent on things you don't need. It disappears in the cracks. It whispers, "You've done well. You deserve a reward." And just like that, your discipline gets assassinated. So you neutralize that threat immediately. You assign every cent to a strategic mission. Even your so-called play money should have a number, a limit, and a label. Nothing is random, because randomness is weakness, and weakness in battle gets you killed. Step 4. Adjust and attack monthly. This isn't a one-and-done budget. This is a living strategy. Every month brings new battles, new expenses, new threats. So every month you sit down with your ledger like a war council. You study your income, forecast your needs, prepare your allocations, adjust the plan before the battle starts. Most people look at their bank account and react. A warrior prepares before the first dollar even arrives. When income increases, you don't inflate your lifestyle. You amplify your discipline. Step 5. Train your household to operate under this command. A lone warrior can fight, but a household, that's an army. If you live with others, spouse, partner, family, train them to follow the same budgeting code. Hold budget meetings like strategic briefings. Go over goals. Review spending. Celebrate victories. Adjust when necessary. Unity in mission creates power. Confusion in finances creates chaos. Make your household operate like a disciplined unit, not a group of rogue agents draining the supply line. The zero-based budget is not about deprivation. It's about precision. It's about ownership. It's about using every resource to fight for your freedom. Because the truth is, most people don't have a money problem. They have a command problem. They don't lead their dollars. Their dollars lead them. But you are not most people. You are not blind. You are not passive. You are a warrior in command. You will not waste. You will not drift. You will not surrender. From this day forward, every dollar you touch will be armed with purpose. Because in the battle for financial freedom, zero-based isn't just a method. It's your code of war. Hack 4. Build a war chest, not a maybe someday fund. They call it an emergency fund. But to a warrior, it's far more than that. It's not just savings. It's your war chest, your fallback fortress, your stronghold when the world turns hostile. Most people treat saving like an afterthought. They save when they can. They put away scraps, if anything's left at the end of the month. And what happens? One unexpected bill, and their entire world collapses. A flat tire, and they're panicking. A layoff, and they're begging. A medical emergency, and they're drowning. Because they never built a buffer. They never fortified the walls. They never respected the fact that life is unpredictable, that the storm will come. But you are not most people. You are not soft. You do not flinch at chaos. You prepare for it. Step 1. Name it. What it is. Your war chest. Words matter. Emergency fund sounds passive, distant, optional. War chest is active, strategic, non-negotiable. This isn't a jar full of leftovers. It's your defensive arsenal. It's what allows you to stay calm when the world shakes. It's what gives you leverage when everyone else is desperate. It's the reason you don't make emotional decisions under pressure, because you've already armored yourself against the hit. Step 2. Start with 1 month, then multiply. If you're starting from 0, don't panic, but don't delay either. The first goal is simple. Save 1 full month of expenses, not your income. Your essential expenses: housing, food, transportation, utilities, basic survival. Once that's locked down, push to 3 months, then 6, not in 5 years. Now, because every dollar you put into your war chest buys you peace, buys you space, buys you time to think when the enemy strikes. Step 3. Make it untouchable. This isn't a backup debit card. This isn't your vacation fund. This isn't where you pull from when a new phone drops or your favorite brand goes on sale. This fund is sacred. Treat it like a sealed vault buried beneath the fortress. Put it in a separate savings account. Name the account War Chest if you need to. Make it harder to access, psychologically and physically. Because this is your last line of defense, not your convenience account. And you don't touch it unless the situation demands it. Not desires it, demands it. Step 4. Automate the armor. Every time you get paid, a portion automatically goes into your war chest. You don't wait to see what's left. You pay the war chest first. Start small if you must. $50, $100, whatever you can. But make it non-negotiable. This isn't charity. This isn't luxury. This is life insurance for your mission. Because a warrior who has no reserves is 1 injury away from defeat. And the world? It doesn't wait for you to be ready. Your car won't break down when it's convenient. Your job won't disappear when you've got savings lined up. Your life won't pause while you try to figure things out. That's why your war chest, must already exist when the blow comes. Step 5. See it as power, not fear. Most people only save out of anxiety. They think of worst-case scenarios and react. That's not how warriors operate. You're not saving because you're afraid. You're saving because you want leverage. You want to walk away from a toxic job if you need to. You want to make moves when opportunities arise, without begging for loans or swiping credit cards. You want to move with power, not panic. This is about freedom. It's about being untouchable. When the war chest is full, you don't beg, you don't fold, you don't fall apart. You calculate, you strike, you choose. Step 6. Protect it like it's your life, because it is. If your budget is your map, and your mindset is your weapon, then your war chest is your armor. It shields you from the unexpected. It gives you strength when the battle drags on, and it lets you keep fighting when everyone else is tapping out. The stakes are too high to walk around unarmored, so build the chest, brick by brick, dollar by dollar, and never again let chaos find you vulnerable. This is your fortress, your fallback, your edge. So stop treating savings like a luxury. Start treating it like the shield that protects your mission. The world will throw fire your way, but if your war chest is full, you will not burn. Hack 5. Destroy the debt chains. Aggressively. There's no polite way to say this. Debt is slavery. Modernized, sanitized, normalized. But slavery all the same. It's a leash around your neck, a collar you've been trained not to notice, and every month you manage it. You're just polishing the shackles. But warriors don't manage chains. We break them, and we don't ask for permission. We don't wait for perfect timing. We attack, deliberately, methodically, ruthlessly, because every dollar you send to debt is a dollar that's not building your freedom. Every interest payment is a tax on your inaction. Every delay is a silent surrender. You want power? You want to move through this world without fear, without pressure, without that constant weight on your chest? Then debt is not something to tolerate. It's something to destroy. Step 1. Stop calling it normal. Debt isn't normal. It's common. There's a difference. Common is the average man, drowning in credit cards, financing his car, enslaved to student loans, numbing himself with buy now, pay later. But you are not average. You're a weapon, and you don't build an empire on borrowed bricks. So stop sugarcoating it. Stop calling it manageable. Stop hiding behind minimum payments like they're a plan. You're not managing debt. You're being bled by it, month after month. Interest compounding like a disease. Face it. Own it. Prepare to eliminate it. Step 2. List the enemy forces. You need to see exactly what you're up against. List every debt you owe. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, student loans, medical bills, anything you pay interest on. Write down the balances, the minimum payments, and the interest rates. Sort them by either smallest to largest balance, debt snowball, or highest to lowest interest, debt avalanche. Your call. But once you pick a strategy, you stick to it like blood on steel. This is your kill list, your battlefield. And from now on, every dollar you earn is a bullet aimed at liberation. Step 3. Crush one at a time, with relentless focus. You don't fight 10 battles at once. You annihilate one enemy, then move to the next. Make minimum payments on all debts except one. Then pour every ounce of energy, every spare cent, every ruthless cutback into obliterating that one target. Sell what you don't need. Cut luxuries. Pick up extra hours. Decline invitations that bleed your money. If it doesn't serve the mission of total financial freedom, it goes. And when that first debt falls, that's your first battlefield victory. That's the sound of a chain snapping. Then you move on to the next, then the next. And with each victory, your power multiplies. Step 4. Turn anger into ammunition. You ever feel sick when you see how much interest you've paid over time? Good. You should. Let that fire burn. Let the rage fuel your resolve, not to punish yourself, but to awaken yourself. This isn't about shame. It's about warrior-level accountability. You let the enemy in. Now you remove them, piece by piece. Every dollar you pay down is a declaration. I will not be owned. I will not die in bondage. I will rise, clean of chains, and clear of weakness. Step 5. Rewire your mind to hate owing anyone. Let this be your new law. If I can't pay for it in full, I can't afford it. No more car payments. No more swiping plastic to numb emotions. No more debt just to keep up appearances. Because every time you borrow, you sell your future energy. That's not buying. That's bleeding forward. So rewire your mind to feel disgust toward debt. To see it as a toxin, a trap, a slow death sold in shiny packaging. You don't need it. You don't want it. You're done with it. Step 6. Celebrate like a warrior, not a fool. When you pay off a debt, celebrate with power. Don't go blow money as a reward. That's civilian nonsense. You celebrate by reclaiming your cash flow. You celebrate by stacking for your war chest. You celebrate by making future you even more dangerous. Your victory is not in what you buy. It's in what you no longer owe. That freedom, that quiet confidence, that feeling of not needing anyone, that's the real reward. Step 7. Build a new identity, debt-free and dangerous. Once the chains are broken, never let them latch on again. This isn't just a tactic. It's a transformation. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't finance weakness, who doesn't play the game with rigged tools, who lives lean, moves clean, and builds everything with cash, clarity, and control. You'll walk into rooms with silence behind you and power inside you. You'll know that your life belongs entirely to you, not to banks, not to collectors, not to anyone who ever thought they owned your future. Debt doesn't just drain your wallet. It steals your spirit. It keeps you distracted, anxious, reactive. But now you've seen the truth. You've felt the weight, and you've chosen to rise. So destroy the chains, every last one. And when you're standing in the ashes of what once enslaved you, you'll be untouchable. Hack 6. Automate the discipline. Discipline is the weapon that separates warriors from wanderers. But even the strongest warrior has limits. Willpower fades. Emotions shift. Temptation never sleeps. And that's why the elite don't rely on discipline. They systemize it. They don't wait until they feel like doing the right thing. They build systems that make the right thing inevitable. This is how you win in the long term. Not by waking up and trying harder, but by engineering your battlefield so that the right actions happen, regardless of how you feel. You don't leave your goals at the mercy of moods. You don't leave your budget at the mercy of memory. You automate the warpath. Step 1. Build the system, not just the habit. Most people try to change through motivation, but motivation is unstable. It cracks under pressure. It dies in the cold, dark mornings and stressful afternoons. Systems don't. A system is your failsafe, your backup warrior, your structure that executes, even when your discipline is exhausted. You want to become wealthy? Then you need to stop making the right decision a daily battle. You need to set it and forget it. Step 2. Automate your priorities with ruthless order. Here's how a financial warrior automates discipline. Step 1. Automate your savings. Set a transfer to your war chest or savings account every payday. Not after you pay your bills, before. Because if you don't pay yourself first, the world will devour every leftover crumb. Step 2. Automate your bills. Set up automatic payments for your fixed expenses. Rent, utilities, insurance. You never forget. You never pay late. You never get ambushed. Step 3. Automate your debt destruction. Schedule extra payments toward your current kill target on the debt list. Remove the option to flinch. Make it hit like clockwork. Step 4. Automate your investments. Even if it's $25 a week, put it on a recurring transfer into a Roth IRA, index fund, or investment account. Why? Because frequency beats intensity. Consistency is your compound weapon. Step 3. Create barriers to weakness. Discipline is not just about doing what's right. It's about making it hard to do what's wrong. So start placing friction between yourself and your worst habits. Move money into accounts that require effort to access. Delete saved payment methods from shopping apps. Remove one-click temptations from your devices. Use budgeting software that sends you alerts when you get too close to your spending limits. Replace passive scrolling with financial dashboards, where you face your numbers daily. These are discipline traps. You're building an environment that punishes weakness before it even surfaces. Because one of the most powerful things a warrior can do, make the wrong decision inconvenient. Step 4. Automate the reminders of who you are. Set up weekly financial reviews, not just to track, but to remind yourself who you are. Put it on your calendar. Make it sacred. Review your budget. Look at your war chest. Track your debt kill count. Adjust your spending. This is your war room briefing. And every time you do it, you strengthen the identity. I'm someone who commands my money. I'm not someone who reacts to it. And once that identity becomes internalized, discipline is no longer forced. It becomes automatic. Step 5. Remember, you're building a system to survive the storm. You won't always be strong. There will be months you're tired, days you're stressed, moments you're tempted to fall back into old patterns. But if you automate your discipline now, you won't need to feel ready. Your system will move for you. It will protect your progress. It will carry your mission forward, even when you're on your knees. Because true discipline is not brute force. It's architecture. Step 6. Build once. Refine constantly. Systems aren't static. They grow with you. You review, refine, upgrade. If your income increases, you upgrade the automation. If you hit a milestone, you reroute the resources. If a strategy no longer works, you replace it with one that does. But the principle remains. Make the right choice automatic. Make the wrong choice inconvenient. Remove decision fatigue from your financial life. That's how warriors keep momentum when others collapse. You don't want to just act disciplined. You want to be someone who no longer needs to remember to do the right thing, because it's already happening in the background. That's the power of automation. That's the weapon you build once, and let it fight for you every day. So set the systems. Reinforce the armor. And never again let a single mood, moment, or weakness derail your mission. Because while civilians try to be disciplined, warriors automate it. Hack 7. Budget for battle and rest. There's a fatal mistake that destroys even the strongest warriors. They go all in on discipline and forget that recovery is part of war. They slash every luxury. They grind 24/7. They punish themselves for even thinking about pleasure. And eventually, they break because they forgot that a warrior is not a machine. We bleed. We burn out. And if we don't strategically restore, we collapse when it matters most. Discipline is not just restriction. True discipline is balance. Not a soft, fluffy kind of balance, but a calculated equilibrium between war and restoration, between output and repair, between the kill switch and the healing chamber. So yes, budget for survival. Yes, budget for freedom. Yes, budget for growth. But also, budget for restoration. Intentionally, strategically, without guilt. Step 1. Destroy the guilt around joy. Let's clear something up. Enjoying your life is not weakness. It's fuel. It's oxygen. If you're always operating in starvation mode, mentally, emotionally, financially, you'll turn bitter. Your vision will blur. Your grind will turn into a grave. Joy, when controlled, becomes your recharge station. You're not here to live like a monk in chains. You're here to win. And that means staying sharp, long term. Budgeting for rest doesn't mean going soft. It means you understand the full cycle of war. Attack, retreat, recover, repeat. Step 2. Assign a rest and reward line in every budget. Make it real. Make it visible. Make it intentional. Just like you assign dollars to rent, debt, savings, assign dollars to joy. Not random, not emotional. A fixed percentage of your income, 1%, 5%, maybe 10%, goes into a rest and reward category. This is your strategic restoration fund. This isn't an excuse to blow money. This is how warriors reset without sabotaging progress. You don't use it for meaningless consumption. You use it for experiences or items that fuel your energy, deepen your focus, and reinforce your identity. Step 3. Pre-plan your pleasure. You don't wait until you're exhausted and burnt out to accidentally spend $300 online trying to feel better. You schedule restoration like a mission objective. You say, next month I'll use my reward fund for a solo hike and new gear. This quarter, I'll invest in a weekend that recharges my mind. Every Saturday morning, this portion of my money is for peace. When your restoration is planned, it's controlled. And when it's controlled, it's empowering. Because unplanned pleasure is sabotage. Planned restoration is strategy. Step 4. Know the difference between escape and recharge. Most people spend money to escape, to avoid pain, to numb out, to forget the pressure. But warriors don't escape. They rebuild. Before you spend from your rest fund, ask, will this strengthen me or just distract me? Will I feel sharper after this or emptier? Recharge is about coming back stronger. Escape is about avoiding the fight. One moves you forward. The other leaves you vulnerable. Learn the difference. Live by it. Step 5. Track restoration ROI. You track your financial return on investments. Now track your energy return. When you use your restoration fund, take note. Did it clear your head? Did it spark your creativity? Did it restore your mood and increase your drive? Did it help you reconnect to your mission? If yes, good. Do more of that. If no, eliminate it. Not all pleasures are equal. Some are poison in disguise. Your job is to study what actually fuels you, because your energy is sacred, and your time is finite. You don't waste either on cheap highs or hollow indulgence. Step 6. Reinforce the identity. Disciplined and dangerous. When you budget for restoration, you're not being soft. You're being elite. Because average people swing between extremes. Overspend, feel guilty, over-restrict, crash, repeat. You operate with calculated rhythm. You attack when it's time to attack. You fall back when it's time to recover. You give yourself what you need, never what you crave blindly. That's mastery. That's sustainability. That's power that doesn't burn out after the first few battles. You're not here to suffer endlessly. You're here to build a life so strong, so secure, so free. That joy flows from discipline, not in spite of it. So make rest part of your strategy. Make reward part of your plan. Budget for the battle, and budget for the healing. Because when your body is rested, your mind is focused, and your soul is full. No one can stop you. You've just unlocked the 7 budgeting hacks of the warrior mind. Not soft advice, not trendy gimmicks, but hard-earned principles forged in fire. Let's recap what we've carved into stone. You began with ruthless clarity, the brutal discipline of facing your financial truth, with no filters, no lies, no mercy. Because if you don't know where your money goes, it's not your money, it's your master. Then you stepped into battle mode, where every dollar serves a mission. No more emotional spending. No more, it's only a few bucks. Every purchase now asks, does this feed my purpose or poison it? Next, you mastered the zero-based budget. No leftovers, no loose ends. Every cent you earn now reports for duty. Because in war, unassigned soldiers become casualties. You built your war chest, an unbreakable reserve, not for comfort, but for command. Because when the storm hits, and it will, you won't just survive. You'll move like a ghost in the fire, untouchable, unstoppable. Then you chose to destroy the debt chains, not later. Now you've seen through the lie that everyone's in debt. You know that freedom starts when you stop feeding the system that owns you. You automated the discipline. Because willpower alone is not enough. You installed systems that move with or without emotion. Discipline is no longer a choice. It's a default. And finally, you learn to budget for battle and rest. To recharge without guilt. To restore without collapse. To operate in rhythm, not just grind. Because even the fiercest warrior needs time to sharpen the blade. This is not just budgeting. This is warfare. Every dollar is a soldier. Every decision is a strike. And your future? It's a kingdom built by design, or a prison built by neglect. You've been handed the blueprint. Now burn the old habits. Engrave this code into your mind. And build a life that no force, no system, no weakness can take from you. Because financial freedom isn't given, it's taken. And the warrior who commands their money commands their destiny. Stay sharp, stay ruthless, and keep moving forward. $1, one decision, one battle at a time.